Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Live episode something. I got too many windows open. 468. Brun's third, not first and not second, but his third retirement is today. So we are here to partay.
So is he going to get 3 pensions? Is that how it works?
He can
Yes.
get
Yep.
no. You gave up.
Yes.
Like when you
Yes.
retire the first time and you come back, that negates your pension. So
Oh,
and then, you got it the second time, but then when you came back a third time, it's like you gave up your pension for life. So, yeah, we just got all that money back, Rob. So,
Ooh.
time to do some giveaways because we don't have to pay Brun anymore. Woo!
yep.
Listen.
Yes, my yearly salary is now being returned to the pot, which I think I calculated my yearly salary that one time. It was like $1.15 a year.
Oh, funny. Well, really, it was more than that because we're letting you keep your gear.
Yes.
So, there you go.
For now.
That's your golden microphone right there. That's your retirement
it is.
gift.
Yeah.
All right.
Make good use of it.
So, yes, Brun is retiring tonight, is his last show. So we are, but don't worry, TXL will continue. Rob and I will continue to be here each and every week, live on Twitch TV, Sundays at 10 p.m. Well, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, and 7 Pacific. So let us move on because we got some special treats for Brun tonight. So let's get into what we've been playing. So, Rob? Oh, tell me. Oh, I'm hoping that I'm going to see this across the board. I hope that's not a tease. Please tell me that's
What?
not a tease. What I'm seeing.
Yeah, I
in
played
written.
Gears of War. No,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was worried about.
no, Gems of War.
Yes.
So I got in a trap of playing it on my phone and the Xbox, and it sucks playing it between both of them because I don't remember what cards I have. Like, it's so you don't get the same cards, in the two, and they don't mix because Xbox Live has to be on its own versus everything else. So, I'll be on my phone and I'm like, yeah, I got to get, this particular, color. And I'm like, oh, wrong one, because I needed it for the other platform. But yeah, the game's a lot of fun. And this is coming from a guy that I hate the match 3 games. Primarily because of the colors. I have color blindness, red green color blindness,
Yeah.
and they are such a chore that's not fun because you spend so much time trying to discern the colors. Even when they have shapes and all, I mean, it's still kind of hard, but this one is not like one of those normal match 3 where it's just basically you keep matching until you can't match no more. Here it's a little bit different because you're doing battles and such, so that makes it a little bit better. And then also, I did. I wanted to ask you guys a question, and I'm not. So I was playing last night, right, on the Xbox, and I got in this one section somehow where it was the continuous match 3, and there was all sorts of stuff in there. There's different shapes. There's like treasure chests, like 2 different kind of treasure chests. And now I don't remember what the other.
You're doing a treasure map, basically.
So it was a treasure map.
Yeah, there's gold coins, silver coins, bronze coin. Is that what
Yeah,
you're doing?
I think that's right.
Yeah, it's not continuous either. You only get 8 moves.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
If you get 4 matches, then it doesn't count a move against you. If you get 5 or more,
Right.
then you get an extra move.
Because I think I had like 15. So I had 15 moves, and I actually went quite a while. I don't know how I lucked out so much, but then when that finished, I mean, I had like 200 chests to open. Is that right? I mean, I got so many
Yeah.
cards.
Oh.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you'll get a bunch of that stuff in there.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just
Join the clan too, and you'll get a bunch of keys
he's
for
in.
the chests and stuff.
I'm in.
Yeah. The first day I did, I was like, you got 800 to open. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and then I'm still not quite sure about all the cards. So a lot of those cards, are they like duplicates or something?
Yes,
Is
and
that how
then
it is?
yes, and then what you do is I already forgot what it's called. Is send them. So as you get, so they're kind of gray cards to start, and then you will ascend them. Like if you get like 5, you can ascend it to a green, and then you know, so they're more powerful. It's kind of like leveling them up, and they go to green, blue, purple, orange, and then they go into like a teal, I think.
So
So
that's different than upgrading.
um, it still makes them more powerful. So you still want to do both, but there
Right.
are traits and stuff like that. So
So
yeah,
I'll have
there's a
to
lot
look
to
into
it.
that. 'Cause I have not been ascending anything. So I gotta look into that.
Yeah, so if you
But
go into your troops and if you hit the Y button, it brings up a filter, and then you go down to the third block. Kind of, there's like 3 different ones, and you hit A, and then you'll see an option for upgradable. So you select that, and then hit Y again, and then it'll put all the troops that are available to have upgrades. You'll see if it's green, if it has a green mark on the card, it means it's a trait. If it is blue, that means you can ascend it, and you have enough cards to ascend it to the next level. So
okay.
makes it easy to do that.
And then where was that when you go into
Troops? Yeah.
So what was it? You pick a particular one?
No.
So I'm on my phone right now. So
When you go into troops, and
I
you'll
got
see like your teams on the left, and you'll see cards on the right. So
yeah.
on the Xbox, you'd hit Y to filter,
For filter.
and then you go to the third one down. It's like upgradable. You select upgradable, and then hit Y to close the filter, and then all your cards will change around. Yeah, and then you'll see the cards sort around, and if they have like I said, means uh, blue means it's ascendable. Green means it's a trait that you can upgrade. I think I had that right. Blue and green.
Okay, so like I have Baba Yaga, and Baba Yaga has like these 4 dots on the top right. So
I don't
all
know.
see is upgrade.
I think
We'll have to talk about that later because we're gonna lose people
Yeah.
because of Gems of War.
Yeah.
Now I'm teaching
the one
Rob how to
thing-
play.
Because they're playing right now. So
Yeah, the one thing
listeners are
about
playing right
Gems
now, so.
the one thing about Gems of War is I did play on my phone and on my Xbox for like one day.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna play on my Xbox because I'm not doing everything twice.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna spend the time doing it, it's gonna be doing it once. Because sometimes like games like that, you like to be a completionist at some point. And you can't be a completionist in 2 of the games when the game is massive. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to do there.
And you forget
So-
what's where.
Come on, Mojo.
Yeah.
Mojo says no Gems of
But-
War. So
Yeah.
okay, but let's move on. Did you play anything
Okay.
else, Rob?
No, I don't think so. Fortnite, but that's about it. I'm done.
All right. I played some Gems of War. I played Lies of Astaroth. I've played some Diablo 3. Been playing a lot of Diablo 3 with Comrade. I played some Sea of Thieves with Penpoint Red, Jesus Walks a Lot, and Gunny Chief over there at Horrible Gamers. And also played some Call of Duty World War II. Let's see. Looks like I'm the only one that played Sea of Thieves, so I want to share a couple moments of that because we're not going to talk about it later. So I played this. The beta or the closed alpha started on Wednesday. I jumped in and played with those other 3 guys. Like I said, there was issues getting connected. So basically, we had one person go in and start a game, and then they got in by themselves, and then we were able to join and get all together. And we played for several hours. I actually streamed this on our Mixer. Oh, no, I didn't stream it. Or did I? I think I did. Maybe I did. I can't remember. I was in a hotel at the time. So maybe I didn't, but I think I did. Regardless, Sea of Thieves. I'm really, really, I don't know what to think of this. I hear from so many people that love this game, and I feel like I'm the only guy that doesn't like, or the only person who just doesn't like this game. It's not that I don't like it. It's like I like playing. I had fun with those guys, but I was just sitting there. It's like, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this, and there's a couple moments that are fun, but the thing is, like those moments that are fun, they're gonna be fun or funny or hysterical the first time. It's not going to be funny the second, third, or fourth time when people are trying to do it. So, for example, um, we all near the end of our game, we all walked up into the bar. They were like, "Oh, there's a bar up here," and so we went in there, and of course, Penpoint and Gunny Chief, and Jesus Walks a Lot are all, going up with their mugs, drinking grog, and then they drink a lot. Like they just keep drinking, and all of a sudden they start throwing up everywhere. Yeah, they can't, because I went and drank one, and I was like, okay, well and I know it kind of supposed to mess with you. And at first I was like, oh, well, I drank one and I'm fine. It didn't do it, so maybe you got to drink multiple ones. But then a few minutes later, all of a sudden, kind of your perception goes off a little bit. So it's like you can't quite walk straight. And I only drank one glass. Well, these guys were slamming them down. Next thing you know, they're hurling just like all over the place, running around, just puking everywhere. And then they're taking buckets and scooping it up and throwing it back on each other. And, it was funny and stuff. And, but it's like, it's only going to be funny once. That, so even though that was funny and we laughed about it, it's like, it's not going to be something you're going to want to do over. It's just going to be like, okay, I've seen that. We've done that. Let's move on. We had a really cool battle where we kind of came up on this ship, and half of their shipmates were on the land because they were shooting cannons at us from the land. So I'm like, let's sink this ship because maybe they don't have anybody on the ship. Well, it turns out they left a few people, so they were shooting back at us too. And they ended up taking off and leaving their teammates. So we turned around and went after them. And we were gaining on them, and we're all like, cannons are loaded. We're ready to just take these guys out. We're going to destroy them. All of a sudden, we're like, what happened? We're slowing down. I'm like, we're slowing down. Are the sails messed up? Or, switch the sails. All of a sudden, there's water on the deck. Well, in the initial battle, no one went downstairs to look to see, did we take a shot below the bow? And, of course, we had holes in the boat, and we eventually sunk. And then we all were in the water, and then I got attacked by a shark, and, it's like, and it's kind of cool. It's fun. But again, it's like, okay, the next time that happens, it really won't be that fun. Like, okay, the shark thing was like, oh, there he is, look at that. But the next time it's like, okay, I'm out in the middle of the ocean, I'm probably going to get killed by a shark, It's just not going to be. Jesus says, I sound like an old person that doesn't like games. That's not the case, Jesus. You made the game very entertaining. But again, it's just kind of like, okay, you get on the boat, you got to sail here, you got to have multiple people help you sail to this spot, you jump off, you find your thing, you jump back on, go back, drop your treasure off. And it was like, that's all we were doing. And I understand, I think Ryan from Gib8777 from World Gamer sent me a thing saying, oh, there's a lot more to it. We're only seeing a part of it. But the thing is, from what I'm seeing so far, I'm bored with it. It's like this is brand new. I'm jumping in, and it's supposed to be this thing that I've heard other people who've, like, in the gaming media who've seen this and played it. They're like, this thing's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm just like, no, it's not. So I don't know. I will say this. I've decided there's no way I'm paying for this game. To me, it's not worth it. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But to me, this game is absolutely not worth the money. Because again, I don't think it's going to be a good game to play by yourself. And I think you've got to have other people to play to make it really fun, and that's what this game is designed for. After a week or two, I don't think this game's going to have everybody playing it. They're going to go back to their Battlefields and their Call of Duties and their Destinies, and go with their their mainstays. So we'll see. What else? And that's it. The rest of the stuff I talk about every week. So, Brun, we'll turn it over to you and what you have played this week.
All right. Oh, before we do that, thank you, Jesus Walks a Lot, Mojo Red, Gib8777, for subscribing via Twitch Prime. Subs to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
And real quick, if anyone's wondering why we don't have our normal viewer up, it's because I want you guys to see the picture of the
All
three of
right.
us all together. This was not edited. This was real. The three of us all met in person. How many years ago?
Was this like 2010?
7. Well,
Well,
I
let's
I
see.
left Chicago in 2010 in
Because I think
September.
this was a couple months before or a couple weeks before you left.
Okay.
It was a little more than that, I think. It was before Jameson was born for sure. Like, we found out we were having Jameson, I think, when we returned from this trip. So no, it didn't happen.
Oh. We have
Jameson.
spawned a TXL baby.
Yeah.
Now the
Jameson
truth comes
6.
out.
Jameson's 6, so it'd been 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I've been gone from Chicago for over 7 years, so this picture was probably about 7 to 8 years ago. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to put this up today for our special show. So no changing of windows and stuff like that. We're just going to leave this up for the show.
Oh.
So you get to look at our pretty faces. And now that we're on camera, you see the before and the after.
Yeah, I looked at that picture. I was like, man, I was thinner then.
Yeah, me too.
But all right, for what I've been playing, I played Gems of War, PUBG on the PC, Battlefield 1 on Xbox, and Hero Academy 2. I don't know if you guys ever remember Hero Academy, the first one, but they released a second one, and been trying it out. So I agree with somebody else that I heard on another Rebel FM. He's just like, I played Hero Academy 1. It was nice because you got the game and you got a free faction, like a free clan or whatever group of people, and it wasn't card based. It was like you drag the people on, and then they released packs like, oh, you want, the TF2, like Team Fortress 2 pack, you could buy it for like $2.99 or whatever, and you could pretty much own the whole game for like $15. And I liked the game so much, I did that. Well, now they went to free to play card packs type scenario, which it's like, oh, you can play, but eventually you're going to hit a wall and you're going to have to spend money to do anything else. And I know I'm not the only one that's a little disappointed in that, but it seems to be the way they decided to go. So, but I played some Hero Academy 2. I think that's all I've really had the time to play. So
I forgot I played PUBG as well this week. I think I did play a couple of games. So
cool.
Forgot to add that.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So let's just want to say you can support us at Patreon. This xboxlife.com/Patreon. This is a donation that you make each and every month. You can go there, set what you want to contribute to the show, and they'll take care of that for you automatically every month. If you want to leave us a tip, you can go to thisxboxlife.com/donate, and that's a one-time only donation to the show. You can also subscribe to us on Twitch and Mixer. Well, you can't subscribe to us on Mixer yet, I don't think. But you can follow us on both of those channels and subscribe on Twitch, as you've seen several people do tonight. Thank you. All right, so we've got a couple topics. And the first one, so this kind of goes back to what I was saying about Sea of Thieves. This news has me really excited. Microsoft came out just the other day and said all first-party studio games will now be released on the Xbox Game Pass day and date of the release. So when Sea of Thieves comes out, launches in March, it will also be on Xbox Game Pass that very same day of release, which means like someone like myself will get this full game and will not have to pay for it because I'm already in the Game Pass. Right. This is awesome. So this year alone, we're going to get, if these games come out, but Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, and there was a fourth one.
Forza Horizon
4, which we're expecting.
Ori and the
Ori and the Will of the Wisps, right?
Will of the Wisps.
So those are 5 games that are scheduled to come out this year, and we're not going to have to pay for them if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber. So, I've been subscribing to this from day one because when it came out, it didn't have a whole lot of games or nothing I was really interested in, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pay for it because I believe in this particular thing. This is getting closer to something more of what I would like. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised this year at E3 if they do something like, okay, finally maybe an Xbox Live Platinum, and that would be your Xbox Live plus Game Pass included for a higher price than what you pay for gold. You
That'd
know,
be
that
cool.
that would be great, and I would immediately move up. And it's just whether I play them or not. It's getting to the point right now. Now it's going to be worth it because I'm going to pay $120 this year for Game Pass, and there's 5 games that I don't have to pay. What, $300? That's $300 in games that I now can save.
Yeah, if you're basically going to buy 2 games this year, you're better off just getting, and they're going to be both Microsoft games. You're better off just getting the pass. Now, I've heard that they're going to offer, higher instead of just monthly, like a yearly cost. You can't do it yearly yet, can you?
Not yet. It's a monthly.
Okay, yeah, but I heard they're going to do it here soon,
And
get
I would buy the
GameStop
year
to
as
do-
well. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So, ooh, that's
yeah, I
speaking
think
of,
it's awesome.
I need
I
to
think
look
it's
into that.
awesome.
I think my live is renewing here in a couple of weeks. I need to go in and check that. Maybe
Are they going to backdate and put games on? Do we know?
they're still put. Oh well, I think a lot of that stuff's already there. Like there's already Gears of War and Halo, and you know,
Forza? Is the new Forza on there?
I don't know yet. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't.
Probably, I would imagine that it's all going to hit. Yeah, I'd have
Okay.
to go in and see if the new Forza's there. I mean, I don't think it was because I just bought it not long ago, but and I don't recall them adding it yet. But yeah, it'll probably show up, and maybe it'll be at E3. They might say at E3, okay, here's what we just went into Game Pass today. All the past ones. I wouldn't be surprised because what's the point? Those they've already made their money.
All
Um,
right.
but I think this is great, and I am super excited about it. This is kind of what I wanted out of the Game Pass. New games coming to it. There's a lot of questions around it. I know I've been listening to people talk on different shows about, well, what about pre-order items? So, um, now does that mean if you want to wait on Game Pass, you only get the generic standard edition? You can't get the other stuff. I'm sure you can still pre-order it if you want. And the thing is like with Game Pass, some people might say, well, yeah, but games come and go. But Microsoft stated all these games are going to stay in. They're not going to pull Microsoft Studio games are not being pulled from Game Pass. They will be there forever.
Okay.
So that also means the next Halo, the next Gears of War, Fable when it releases, all those games are gonna be day and date in part of Game Pass. So I no longer have to buy Gears games or Halo games or And if you ever want to drop out of it, there you can buy, and I've seen this already. You can go and buy the game to own it at a massive discount.
Right.
If you're a Game Pass owner, it's like, wow, that's a huge. It's like own it now, and it even shows you what it would cost you as a Game Pass owner. So if you ever decide I want to pull out, you can go buy those games at the discount and then cancel your
There's
subscription.
164 games on there right now.
Yeah, and it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah. And I mean,
Um,
I know they mentioned like some will fall off, some will come on. I know they talked about doing that, like you just said, and without the X or the Xbox or Microsoft ones won't fall off. But man, just I've already seen like 5 or 6 games that I'd want to play.
yeah,
Oh yeah, there's
and
a lot on
like they just
there.
had, I think NBA 2K17 fall off, but it was replaced with like NBA 2K18 or something. Like, so it really doesn't matter. They replaced it with the new
Yeah.
the next year's version. So we've seen more stuff added than removed. A couple items have removed because again, Microsoft's got to make deals with these companies, and they're not gonna until they get into you know letting them sit there and maybe be out there longer because there's really, and I think eventually that's what we're going to see. I mean, you look at Netflix. I mean, this really is the first gaming version of Netflix, if you will. Netflix has done all the streaming, and they went that route, and people probably kind of at the beginning like, "Oh, that's crazy. That's never going to work." Netflix is huge nowadays. They're huge and they're successful, and they're getting original content that you can only watch there. And that's So I think the next step Microsoft talked about games being made and released on Xbox Game Pass. That would be the only place you can get it. We'll probably see that in Microsoft Studios. They'll probably bring in some independent studios or buy them out or have deals that it releases just on this pass.
Right.
It can happen. You look at Spotify and the music world's changed. The music and movies, and even books. Everything's gone online. Going into this, you can get go into the Kindle marketplace and pay there and read as many books as you want. You can even share books with friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it's going. So why not games? It's still entertainment and media. So it's what it's happened. That's why I'm just going to pay. I happily pay them every month, even though I'm not currently playing games. And boom, look at this year, 5 possible games that I won't have to buy that I can play. So.
Yeah, the one thing I'm wondering is if the Game Pass will grant you. So Sea of Thieves is cross play.
Yeah, I was wondering the same.
Will you get the cross play out of it?
Probably. That's what they want.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I imagine
thinking
it
does. I would hope so. So cool. Yeah, I heard that and I was just like, oh, here's another thing to change. And so okay, I do have something I don't want to see out of it. And here's where I think Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, I think this is where those guys have to put their foot down and they have to say, oh, you want your game to be a part of Game Pass? Or, okay, well then your games can be a part of Game Pass, but you cannot release your own subscription. I don't want to have an Ubisoft, an EA, Microsoft, this or that. I don't want to have 15 Game Passes that I have to subscribe to, and all of a sudden it's just my yearly Game Passes total $300, but I'm getting every game that's made from all those studios.
Right.
But I'd rather just Microsoft to say, okay, listen, we understand EA because EA has something similar already,
and they're not going to budge.
Okay. Right. But I mean, it's just okay, EA, we understand that you want to have something very similar to ours. You come in with us, and then maybe they can offer tiered packages or whatever. But I just want to pay one place.
Right.
I just want one place to go. And I think it'd be really cool if Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo would come together. I think this is something where the big three should lead into something. Stop being. We all know your friends. You can come together and make this gaming Game Pass where if I paid $200 a year, I would get everybody's games, all of them, no matter what platform I played on. Would be kind of cool, but I know that'll never happen. I know I'm just blue skying it, but yeah, I mean, you know how it is with Netflix. It's oh, I got Hulu, I got Netflix, and I got Amazon Prime, and I got this, and I got that. And it's oh, we're only on this, we're only on that, we're, only on Amazon Music, only on Google Music. I'm just holy cow, you have to have 25 subscriptions, and it defeats the purpose. And somebody like myself who's a cable cutter, I use DirecTV Now, and I sign up for Netflix, Hulu, and CBS Now. Well, DirecTV Now is now getting CBS, so I can dump CBS Now. but DirecTV Now doesn't have DVR, but Google TV has DVR. YouTube TV has DVR, and Sling TV has and it's just there's 15 of them now, and everybody has their own apps, and it's just the places that are helping cord cutters to try to make money. They've made it so bad it's just easier to have cable. It's just easier to go back to the companies that everybody's cutting the cable from, because at least there they have one box and everything works on it. So they're killing themselves just with everybody. There's no regulation in it.
Yeah.
But of course I'm anti-regulation a little bit. If you look at Bitcoin and things like that, it took a big nosedive, took a dive over the last couple of weeks because the governments have started to stick their hand into it. And the quickest way to kill something is to let a government stick their hand into it. Yep. So, but yeah. So Forza's not in there yet.
Yeah, it will be coming though. Like I said, they just made the announcement, so I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
backdate everything. I can't see that they wouldn't. So, all right. Any other comments on that, guys, or thoughts?
Nope. I would say
Rob's
no from Rob.
Rob's
Nope.
stone face. So
Zombie.
there's a new as of the 25th of January, a new preview beta system update. So
Beta.
beta. If you are in the beta for the Xbox console, you get a new update, which will be old news for Rob, who's in the alpha because he's too cool to be in the beta.
Yes.
He wants Bleeding Edge. He's in a Bleeding Edge group. So I think there's even
Yeah,
you guys got a new one, I think, yesterday, didn't you, in the alpha? I thought I read.
Not sure.
It was just like yesterday or today, or I just read it. It was like, I'm like, man, they get another one. But the beta one.
The thing is, you have no idea when you're updating. I mean,
that's true.
Unless you kick it off manually.
Yeah. So I've got the beta. I do have this one. So there's. Where is it? Oh, this talks about.
I'm sure this stuff is so last year for me.
Oh, wait, this is, I don't have this one yet, or I didn't realize it. Maybe I do. I must. It's in the beta. So this one, actually, you can have your avatars on the homepage. In fact, let me turn my, so users wishing to represent themselves as an avatar can do so by changing their settings under my profile, customize profile, show my avatar. So supposedly they will now appear on your homepage. I will actually check that out right now. I was thinking this was a previous one, but the one that I know the beta has out group is like they've got the mini game hubs. There's what else was in this thing? Crud. I got the wrong story here. But there was a couple other difference. Like with your achievements, you can go in and see next achievements. So you can go in there and it'll kind of show you which games you're close to getting an achievement on. So if you're an achievement hunter, an achievement hound, you can go use that new feature as well. So that is available. Now I got to go see if I've got this avatar one. So it says you just go to your profile. So you go to my profile, which is under personalization in the settings, and then customize profile. That's there. I see it. And show my avatar. Oh, it's there.
Yeah, mine's checked.
Done.
I gotta fire mine up.
Where does it show?
It's supposed to show on your home. I don't see him on the home page.
We're doing this on the fly.
I see him. I see it in the top left.
Live, baby.
Is that what it is?
No, I don't. I'm on my homepage and I don't see him there. It's supposed to show on your homepage. So maybe it needs a reboot to do it.
Here's. I'm gonna swivel my camera.
Oh, I'm getting dizzy.
Oh.
I'm gonna hurl. No, that's not a very good angle at all, dude.
No, my cable isn't. Whoa!
Hang on. That's your gamer pick.
Yeah, it's the avatar up there.
Yeah, but you
that
have
what you're talking about?
No, I don't think so. Because you have a gamer pick and your avatar. So I'm rebooting my box right now. It's about to come up and I'll see if he appears. So my gamer pick is still showing up there, and I do not see my avatar on the home screen. So I don't know what it means. Yeah. He ain't there. Maybe mine's just mad that I've just like abandoned him for so long. He's like, forget it. I'm staying hidden. So, but anyways, that's supposedly there.
Maybe it's under the suggestions.
I don't know. It just says avatars on home. Users wishing to represent themselves as an avatar can do so by changing that setting. So, not seeing it, but
yeah.
But anyways, it's there. And then there's a bunch of fixes. That's really the only thing new I think that I saw. But all right. So moving on to something more exciting. I'm gonna skip this. Well, no, I don't want to. So we've talked about Mixer, and I've been working on the TXL page. I've done some more stuff this weekend. I am planning. Please go out and subscribe or follow us. Follow us on Mixer. It's mixer.com/this Xbox Life. Um, I'm working to very, very soon, possibly as early as next week. We may be broadcasting both on Twitch and Mixer at the same time. I'm going to be testing some stuff this week. I'm on vacation this week. I'm going to be putting some time, and I've been doing some stuff over the weekend. So I've already made some updates to the interactive parts of Mixer. So you can, some of them are, there's one that's really funny. I can't wait for you guys to see. Let me just say this. When I am streaming and I have it turned on, you might want to hit the double kill button. I just cracks me up. I'm probably gonna have a problem every time someone hits that because I'm probably gonna like die because I'll just start laughing. But Mixer's got a lot of really cool stuff in the works. They've had a really great year. They've done stuff like Hype Zone, which is I actually have enjoyed watching Hype Zone. They did this for PUBG, and so like you can subscribe to the Hype Zone channel, and what they do is they'll go into a game of PUBG where it's supposed to be set up so if they're like in the top 10, then that's what you're going to watch. And as soon as they either die or they get their chicken dinner, it'll switch to another game where they're like in the top 10. Sometimes they're a little higher than that, but most of the time they're in the top 10, and you're just getting to see that kind of final action, and it's really cool.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. It's a really neat feature.
It's almost like the red zone from like didn't Verizon or whoever it is, they had like the red zone where it was like it would flip to the football game every time the football team, like a football team or NFL team was in the red zone. Like it would show their game going on. That's why they called it the red zone. It's, I think a takeoff of that.
So they're gonna continue to advance and do some new things. They actually showed off last week in San Antonio at PAX South. It says our Mixer partners turned out in force, streaming nonstop from the show floor, showing off built-in Mixer interactivity in the upcoming game, The Darwin Project. So that's interesting. Yeah. Like Mixer is going to be built into some of these games. They're going to continue to refine and expand the Hype Zone based on user feedback. You're going to see improvements and new capabilities coming to it. They're also working with a number of game publishers to bring Mixer interactivity to even more games soon, along with continued investment in new interactive capabilities for streamers to take advantage of. And so I really like the platform. I know we're on Twitch right now, and nothing against Twitch. I just really do like Mixer. We are an Xbox platform. Kind of makes sense to be on Mixer. But we're going to continue on Twitch. We're just going to try to stream to both platforms. That way people can use the one of their choice. So look for that coming soon. All right. That's it for my stuff. It was Rob. Is this you?
So going back to the seeing avatars, I do see it for other people.
Oh, maybe it's another person, for other people type of thing.
Yeah, so if I scroll down, because I've got a bunch of people pinned to the home screen.
Oh.
I see them as avatars. Like, Brun, I don't see you.
I just flipped mine.
I don't see Mark. But yeah, all the way to the left is where the avatar is like dancing, moving around and stuff. So it is there. Okay. Anyway. So let's see, what do we have here? Oh yeah. So there's a little bit of speculation going on. This really isn't direct Xbox news, but it affects the console industry to some degree. And there's speculation going on out there about Google getting into the console space. And that's kind of interesting because what happened recently was Phil Harrison recently just got hired by Google. So Phil Harrison is a guy who's kind of been around the block, apparently.
Yeah.
You know, he was at Sony for like a long time, and then he was at Xbox or Microsoft, for about 2-3 years, I think. I saw that he was also at Atari, and he worked for Gaikai for 2 years. That's the streaming service for Sony, isn't it? One that they wound
Yeah,
up picking up.
they bought that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he was there, and now he's going on to Google. So, because of that, a guy who's basically been in the console industry for the most part for like the past 20 plus years, now he's at Google. So it's like, what is going to happen over there? So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And it would actually be really interesting to have another player. So like, a fourth console system in addition to PlayStation, Sony, and Nintendo. I know that there are other ones, but come on, they really don't matter according to big sales and such. So I think if anybody can come into the market and be a threat to some degree, I mean, I could see Google doing it just because, you know, they have, so much weight behind them and so many smart people over there. So let me ask you guys this. If Google does come into this space with its own console, do you think it would be Android based?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, if they do something where it's like, oh, here's a console to play all the Google Play Store games,
Exactly. That's what it'll be.
then you can play your mobile games on your TV now. It'll fail.
It's like Shield.
I think that's been tried multiple times, right, by multiple people, and it's failed. I mean, Apple even does it. For people that don't know, on the fourth generation Apple TV, you can play games, and I don't know anybody that does it.
I think the problem there is kind of like what tablets had when they first came out, but in the opposite direction. So, when tablets first came out, there were all these games out there, but the games were meant for controllers. And here you had a touch screen, a large touch screen. And I know that some games can have like you hold, like here's my phone, you hold your thumb in the lower left, hold your other thumb in the lower right, and then you can move around with that. I mean, I just can't do that. I have such an alignment problem with that because my thumb drifts. Do you guys, what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, we're so used to the thumbsticks where your finger is like locked in on top of it. And now, halfway through the game, it's like I'm at the top of the screen and it's not registering. I guess these are old school problems for old school people. But
old being the operative word.
Yeah. So you had, that transition where you had no controller for controller games. Now I think that some of these systems have the opposite problem where the game is really meant for a touch screen. We're at that position where games are best played with a touch screen using your finger of choice, I guess. And if you can't play those games very well with a controller. So I think if Google does get into this, they would basically need to shift to, something with a controller. So, or games meant for a controller, like first person shooters and all, basically all the stuff that we see for Xbox and PlayStation and all that. So, yeah, interesting stuff there. And then for the recap this week, I mean, a lot of the stuff, a lot of big stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of news, and we kind of hit the main points of everything, with the Sea of Thieves, the Game Pass. One thing was interesting, I guess. Sea of Thieves was King of the Hill on Twitch over this past week. Another thing here, PUBG passed 4 million Xbox players.
Yep.
So, that's pretty interesting.
That's more people than a lot of games can drum up.
Yeah.
And this is still in a game preview. It's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. And then Lastly, Anthem was delayed. I think, didn't we talk about that last week?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be
we
delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the recap.
All right. All right, guys. We're going to forego the rant this week because if I was going to rant, I'd probably go off on, I don't know, people like, getting together and saying, hey, let's do this podcast. And then they quit on you. And then they come back later on and want to come back. And then they do it for a short time and they quit on you. Then they come back again. And what do you know? What, there they are bailing on you a third time.
Those are people with commitment problems.
Yeah.
Hate them.
And I just really I don't know, for some reason, kind of don't feel like ranting tonight. So I've decided, instead of doing a rant on people that keep quitting, I've decided that it'd be a good time to talk about Brun. I don't know why, but
commitment problems. For those who can't commit more than 10 years, we just don't even want to talk with you anymore.
That's it. You're out of here.
We need at least 15 years or less or more.
Yeah, I just wanted to take this time to just focus on Brun. I wanted Rob and I to kind of talk about a couple things that, we remember, things about Brun and and I apologize to the community. So many of you probably heard some of this, but oh well, too bad. It's our show. We're saying goodbye to Brun. And Gunny wants me to rant at you, Brun, but I'm not going to do it. So the thing that, like, when I think back about Brun over the years, now this is going way back to like when I first met him back on Xbox podcast, and Kyle and I were working. No, stop listening. I need to turn that thing off because it keeps. Whoops! Ooh, what did I just do? Oh, I just turned the controller off by mistake. Anyways, the very first time Kyle and I were doing the show by ourselves, we were looking to bring a third guy on, and we were going to have a meeting for the first time, talk with Brun, and I was late to the call. And so I finally get home, I get on, and I'd never met Brun. I hop into Skype, and the first thing I hear is, well, it's about time.
That was the first thing I said.
I was, and that's no lie, not stretching the truth. Nope. And I just started laughing, and it was like I immediately knew that Brun was going to be the perfect fit. That's all he had to do. It was just one of those things. I just knew right from then it was going to. I'm like, you had me right there. It was just, there was something about it, and we all started laughing and stuff, and I won't ever forget that, and it's cool. I got the picture up here today in the background. I mean, all three of us have met. Rob and I have been best friends from high school. So we've grew up and stuff. But Brun, I do consider.
We haven't grown up. We just got older.
We got older. That's right. True there. But this was a really fun time. I know I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with Brun and his family, but due to my wife being really sick, and she still came along to meet you guys. But this was a really good memory. I really enjoyed meeting you and your family, Brun. And when we met there, I remember we were standing out at Navy Pier. We decided we were going to meet there. And I'm looking around. I'm like, am I going to really recognize him? I mean, the place was packed. There's so many people there. And I'm kind of like, man, I hope we can find him. I hope we recognize each other because, we'd only seen like through the video. And all of a sudden I hear from behind me, I don't remember exactly what you said, Brun, but you said something, and I'm like, that's him. Like, it was his voice. I just turned around, and there you were. It's like you even recognized me from behind somehow. I don't know. It must be my cute derriere or something, but.
Yeah, I recognized you and walked up and said, I forget what I said too.
But yeah, you were behind me, and I'm like, as soon as I heard the voice, I knew it was him. So, it was just, it's just, those are some really good memories. And we had such a blast with your family. You got such a great family. And, I'll be sure to express your thanks from Rob and I to your wife as well, because she's had to put up with you doing this for so long. And just let her know we really appreciate it. And the last
Evie was like just born.
Yeah,
I think when we started up, so
yeah, when we started, she was she was little when we met her there.
It wasn't even one, I don't think.
So, but yeah, it's just, and it's been neat to watch her grow up, to see your Jameson grow up, and now to see him. I saw him earlier when we were talking today, getting on the camera, and it was just like, man, he's just grown up. It's just like, it's really cool. So you're not gone from us. You'll always be. I consider you a real friend. Hope you know that, and you are always welcome to come back when you get the itch. We'll let you come on as a guest. You're done. We've kicked you off as a host for good. Yeah. 3 times you're out, like Rob said, but we'll let you come back as a guest spot. So, but the other thing I wanted to talk about was that some of my favorite things too is BJ blooper. It's kind of more of in the past, but you it was like every week there was something that you did wrong or said wrong, or we I think it was Kyle that called you BJ blooper. And it was, and you, the way you say collar when you mean color, it just makes me smile, and it's funny. But those are some good memories, and of course all the stuff of playing with you and you trying to teach me how to play Battlefield, and all the hours you've spent, including today, with me on the audio. And I appreciate your patience, because man, I'm like an idiot. I don't get this. There's too many factors. So our listening audience, I apologize. Last week's audio or not last week, but 2 weeks ago was terrible. And it was a Windows update came and just messed everything up. And it even did it to my laptop at work. All of a sudden I was like, why is my like I was trying to listen to one of our webcasts, like our big wigs talking, and I'm like, I got no audio. What's going on? This always works just through the PC. It's a laptop. It has its own speaker. There's nothing else plugged into it. Why doesn't it work? And I'm like, I know Windows just updated. Let me go check my settings. Sure enough, it switched it to something else, like a headset, or to the line out port. And I'm like, I don't even use that. I'm like, Microsoft, you're killing me.
I'm starting to wonder about all this, because Brun and I get the same updates as you, and I mean, our stuff's fine.
Dude, no, Brun
played off like it doesn't screw it up.
I think it's user error.
No,
you guys were on there with me, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I just hung up and left, and you're like, Mark's messaged me. Are you coming back?
Hello?
Are you hello? I was so mad because I spent over an hour trying to figure out what was wrong. And it was the whole creators update or whatever that came across. And I don't think Mark updated to it. And what it was is that was the update that was forced out to everybody's machines.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Well,
the BJ blooper thing, I remember that whole BJ blooper thing, because we had certain things that we had to do, and I was always just jumbling them up in my mouth, like messing them up, saying them backwards and stuff like that. That's where BJ blooper came with, because we would start over. Like for the show that we do now, like I love this format, because if I screw up right now, it's in the show, it's not coming out. And that's one thing. When we started the show, we're just like, you know what, we're just going to turn the mics on and we're going to let it ride, and then that's just how it's going to be. Even to the point where if our calls drop out, we're like, hey, we're back, we just lost our call, things like that. But before that, with Kyle, Mark, and myself, we had to do make it perfect, and if it wasn't perfect, we had to redo it. So we'd be like, all right.
It's like hours of editing.
Yeah,
3, brutal.
2, 1. All right, and then I'd be like, blah blah. Oh crap! All right, sorry guys. 3, 2, and then we'd have to edit in commercials, and that's when we were Xbox Podcast. And I think that was one driver that made me want to leave that. Also being threatened and having to sign a contract or something like that was the other thing. Did not go over well with everybody.
It went over so well that place doesn't even exist anymore.
Exist anymore. Yeah, exactly.
And we now own the domain.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like we did the right thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the first time I ever got to host a show, because we weren't live, we recorded it and then just did it as before Twitch and all that stuff. I was like, all right, first time I get to do this. So I was like, all right, 3, 2, 1. I was like, hello. How'd I put it? Hello and welcome, you sons of, and I said something like really bad.
You just said hello, beep.
Yeah.
And I remember I just died laughing. I was just like, we're like, you can't do that, but I was laughing because it was so unexpected.
Yeah. So hello and welcome, mother. I forget exactly what I said. I just remember I went off and just said a bunch of bad stuff.
It was a B word.
Oh.
Hello, all you witches. That's what you said.
That's right.
Yeah, that was it. So.
That's what it was. That's funny. Oh yeah.
Good times.
Man, those shows are rough to have to do.
Yeah, because then this is so much. Yeah, we think we got it bad now. We got it easy compared to then.
Yeah, it was an hour for every 30 minutes of editing.
Yeah,
because we're each recording on three different things. At least now, like I said, what we do now is we just do it, and then Rob takes the audio and he's got one audio. It's not splitting up into 3 different channels, and it's just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I remember we recorded all the same, and then you'd get everybody's files, and they wouldn't line up.
Drift.
How did it drift it off? All of a sudden someone's saying something before they really did, and then we're cutting and pasting all these tracks and move. Oh, dude, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight just thinking about it. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people think this is easy. It's not. It's a lot easier now, but it's still a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Very true.
How about it, Rob? You got any memories other than when he's bailed on us a couple of times?
No, it's like we had just talked about. That day that we met on Navy Pier. I mean, that was something that was awesome. To have all 3 of us. I mean, that only happened once.
Yeah, Mark left because Mark left.
Yeah,
Mark left.
Mark bailed on the city.
Yeah,
and
never looked back.
Yeah, and it was such a great day. I mean, the weather was perfect, and it was so awesome to have us come together with our families, and
we got to hang out at the bar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Till 1. Yeah, till 1 or so.
Yeah. I got in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah. So what? It was worth it. It was worth getting in trouble.
Yeah, because we wound up getting a hotel.
Yeah.
So Brun and I actually had rooms in the same hotel. Yeah. And what was it, around 10 o'clock or so? We went downstairs. Yeah. We were just chit-chatting. We had a drink, and then I apparently had my phone on mute.
Oh, jeez.
I forgot to turn back on. And
yeah, somebody got in trouble, and then I think my comment was something like, "Yeah, because who drives from Ohio every day?"
Yeah.
Drives up from Ohio every day, 6 or 7 hour drive.
Yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. And and every show that we do, I mean, that's an awesome memory as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole process has been fun. It's been an amazing experience, and I'm glad I got to share it with both of you guys as well. I'm getting a little misty now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been watching our chat, but it's there's the what do you call it? I call it pound, but it's not called pound anymore.
Oh, hashtag.
Hashtag never forget Brun. Hashtag Brun don't leave. Hashtag this Brun's life podcast. I know there was some earlier, probably not my TXL, or because without
hashtag
Brun.
Good riddance. I saw that one. Hashtag get out of here.
Those are not in there.
I was going to say Rob's favorite memory is going to be in about 30 minutes from now.
No.
When it's the, I'm just kidding. Sign off for the last time. No, I
All right.
remember, leaving, we've told this story 100 times, but it was like leaving the Xbox podcast and just I was doing some things here and there and sending it to you guys, and you guys were putting in your show, and then you were like, I think I'm leaving too. And then Kyle's like, I'm leaving too. I was like, do you want to do a new podcast? I was like, well, I have this website and everything already. And Mark then says, well, I got this buddy, Rob, who wants to do podcasting. What do you think about bringing on a fourth? And I was like, no way. No, just kidding, Rob.
No, that's what he said. He said, no way. I had to pay him to let you come on.
No, he said, heck no.
No, so then it was just like, I don't know. All right, go for it,
Yeah.
And that was when we were making the rules of just like, we're not going to do this editing crap. We're just going to let it go and stuff like that. So, yeah, good times. And the other thing I remember is when that one game came out and we had that one person said it was developing for the PS3 sucked or was too hard or something like that.
Oh, development on the PS3 is a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass, yes. Sorry for
that was the quote from a developer.
That got picked up and we're like, and it was like, on a podcast, this Xbox life, and we're like, holy crap,
everywhere like that. All of a sudden, we exploded into like notoriety, and I was just like,
fame.
It was like, it was literally 5 minutes because like the next episode we were back to our regular, but that episode, man, had like massive numbers of downloads. We were on all these different news sites, all pointing back to us, and we're just like, what happened?
Yeah.
So.
I think Gibbs asking about he can't wait. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get on to that because the community has reached out to. I know me personally. I've had lots of people reach out to me, asking, Mark, say it's not so. He's not leaving. Really, yeah. And I've had to tell him, yes, he is. But we did get some emails. So I'll take this first one. Rob, you can take the second one. So. This first one comes from Double K81. He says, hello. I just wanted to wish Brun all the best in his future endeavors. It will be a shame to lose him, as I do enjoy the dynamic of all three of you. However, I'm sure the show will still continue to be awesome. I just wanted to let you know that you will be missed, and I appreciate all the work that went into the show on and off the mic over the years. Unbeknown to you guys, you have been there through several key moments in my life in recent years. For example, during the sleepless nights when my son was born. So thank you, Brun, and hopefully we will still get to hear you on the show now and then. All the best, Double K.
Okay, next one is from Conboy. Brun, thanks for all your hard work on the show over the years, your sense of humor, love of all things Battlefield, and disgust of gaming site biases. Always made for lively moments in the show. As you ride off into the sunset or the comforts of your man cave, know that you made a difference in this community and you will be missed.
So yeah, the one thing for these two is like, I'm still going to be around. I'm just not going to be a full-time host. And like I said, I'm still probably technically tech support for when I need to be for audio and stuff like that.
I hope not. After today, I hope we've alleviated your. I've got everything pictures and documented now.
Yeah. But in the dynamic, I don't think the dynamics really in the show is also going to continue to be awesome because the show's survived without, it's all three of us, and when one is missing, the other two pick up, and the show's going to still be great and everything. And the other thing that makes the show awesome is actually the community, because I think without the community being around and the guys that are in chat and that are sending these messages in and stuff like that, it's like we wouldn't have anybody or anything to talk about, it would just be us talking to each other. And, that's it's easy because we're talking to our community, to the community that's out there and stuff like that. So show's still going to be awesome, but I do appreciate the kind words. So.
All right. So let's, get to some voicemails. So the first, where'd my page go? here comes the first one. This is from. I'll just let him introduce himself. So let me play this.
What's up, guys? It's Christoph. Hey, just calling in to say adios to Brun. Hey, really loved having you on the show, man. Been listening forever, as you well know, and one of my favorite hosts for sure. So I will miss your input on the different topics and your different perspective, but I wish you the best of luck in the future, man. Take care, and I'll catch you online.
All right.
Thank you.
So this next one, man, I hope I did this right. I hope I put the right one in here. I was supposed to edit this. Hopefully I got the right one. Let's see.
Hey, Mark. Hopefully you have time to edit this first part out.
Oops.
Don't forget.
Nope, not that one.
I don't feel very comfortable taking Brun's place. I know you got to kick him to get me on the show. I don't know. I feel really bad about it. I don't want to bump into him on the streets and he gets angry. I hate conflict. But at the same time, Brun was never really nice to me. He was always a mean guy. He's a terrible, terrible person. So maybe I do feel okay about this. Yeah, I'll be TXL for life. All right, I'm gonna start right now. So edit that part out. I'm gonna start right here. Hey guys, what is up? TXL, what is up? This is Sean from Horribly Awkward, and I just want to say, Brun, dude, what's up? You're leaving the podcast. You're my favorite. You're my favorite host. I love you, dude. It's not gonna be the same without you. I mean, who's gonna stream the podcast? We're gonna have all these issues. Like, I mean, Brun, you're the man, and Mark and Rob. I mean, they'll make it work. They'll at least try. But I mean, Brun, you are my absolute favorite. And whatever you're gonna go do, if you're gonna go get foot rubs, if you're gonna be a king and get fanned down by big leaves and get fed grapes, like, be the hero we need, dude. I love you, man. You are my favorite TXL host. Now I'm gonna have to like choose between Rob and Mark. Well, whatever it is, I guess I'll flip a coin. We'll see how it works. But yeah, Brun, dude, just whatever you're gonna go do. If you're gonna retire, man, have a good time. Eat lots of Taco Bell. Eat lots of grapes, like I said, man. And good riddance. All right, Mark. Hopefully you have enough time to edit that stuff out in the beginning, man. But yeah, don't let Brun hear that. It'd be very awkward.
Horribly awkward.
It would be horribly awkward. So that is.
And that's the thing is when I start hearing that, I'm like, okay. I was like, he better plug Horribly Awkward at least once in this voicemail, or I'm going to be very upset at him. See, I knew there were some backdoor dealings. I knew that's what it was. You guys were just waiting.
The cat's out of the bag. Yeah. All right, so we got another one here. Brace yourself. This is this could be rough. Here we go.
Okay.
You got some tissues, Brun?
Yep, I'm okay.
Okay.
Use your shirt if you have to.
This is from our friends at Horrible Gamers Podcast.
Today, we are gathered here to remember Brun, BJ Swick, 33. Looking back over the years, he has brought many good gaming memories. Brun, we will miss the battlefield moments. The truth about microtransactions being brought to our attention. The PC Master Race gamer you became, and almost converting wingmen to it. The moment you said you were leaving the show, I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I was thinking to myself, is he kidding? Could this be real? That's all I could think. Now, I remember first adding you on Xbox 360. You became my first TXL friend. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that notification saying, BJ Swick 33 has accepted your friend request. I'll never forget the first moment you invited me to an Xbox Live party to play Battlefield 3 with you.
Don't do it.
And those epic moments we've had in the game. Brun, I won't forget when you left the show and you came back. And now you're leaving for good. And you're breaking our hearts.
I remember when I struggled with OBS. And I was so frustrated, I didn't know what to do. And I looked over to Brun, and he joined me in a Skype call, and he showed me the way. We're gonna miss you, Brun.
That time when you pre-ordered Destiny, the first Destiny on Xbox, only to find out
Why is he leaving now?
PlayStation got exclusive content for Destiny, and just how upset you were at Activision. That really, I mean, your passion for that game, that really showed. Or when I was asked to come on TXL and introduce each host, I was so nervous. But you relieved me of those fears.
Okay.
My Battlefield buddy.
Thank you, Brun.
Battlefield friend.
You will be missed.
You're my battlefield.
You will be missed, Brun.
The squad up for the last time.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, so
That's-
any words, Brun?
Oh. That is by far one of the best things I've ever heard. That's really the people in the back in the background. Oh, crying in the background.
Don't do it.
So, thank
Oh.
you very much. That's fantastic. I love that. So
I'll
I'm
be
gonna
sh-
definitely.
I'll be sure you get copies of both of those. Well, all three of those voicemails that were sent in today.
Yeah, you have to you have to email them to me today so I can play that one for Devin. So yeah, it's funny when I was Jesus talking about squatting up for the first time in Battlefield. Like I remember that. I do remember that and playing for the first time with him. So yeah, and the OBS stuff. I remember going in. It's because you're talking about like the audio issues or sitting down and doing this and help set up and stuff. It's like the number of people that I've sat down with and talked to about how to get podcasting and streaming going up and things like that. But I said it last week, Darkness 429 helped me with stuff, and it's like you just keep passing that along because it's always nice to help, people out there. So but, yeah, thanks guys, appreciate it. That was funny.
You will be missed.
Yeah.
No, this is
Very
just
good.
too funny, man. Way too.
Yeah.
All right. So let's compose ourselves for a moment. Let's move on. We do have another voicemail to get to. But I want to remind our UK listeners or anybody that uses Amazon.co.uk that you have one more week to send in a voicemail or an email telling us what your most anticipated game is for next year, and we will select a winner to receive. If I recall, it's around like 65 pounds or something. Right? I don't remember the exact number. It was something like 64, 65 pounds. The gift card. So if you're interested, get those in before next weekend. Other than that, I want to move into the next voicemail we got. This was from Andrew and Richard from This Sunburnt Life. So let's hear what they had to say.
Hi, this is Andrew and Richard from This Sunburnt Life. Richard, a little while ago I spoke with Brun, and he asked me to have a think about the cost of the Xbox around the world. And what do you think he meant by that? I think he meant the costs, but the costs can mean to us what is the environmental cost and what is the cost to the people that make it. Yeah, I think it means a little bit more than just what the sticker price is of an object. Richard, just the other week I gave my old Xbox One to a family friend, and you're in the same situation. You've just upgraded to the X as well. Well, that's just the best way to do it. And if you want to be wise about it, not to lord it over those who don't have the product that you're using now. Richard, when I studied my CPA to become a certified practicing accountant, we came across the idea of triple bottom line. That is, a company records profit, but also should be responsible for two other bottom lines. Those other two ones are the impact on people and the impact on the environment. And when we look at the cost of an Xbox solely as a sticker price, we're sort of forgetting that. You see, it's easy to outsource production, and it's easy to outsource the cost of environmental damage to another country and effectively not account for it in your books at all, and it not to be known by your consumers or the people living in the country where you sell to. You see, once an Xbox becomes environmental waste, it's still something that gets sold. We don't actually, in the first world, pay money to dump our hardware. It actually gets sold as a resource. And it gets sold as a resource because it can get stripped and you can obtain iron from it cheaper than from iron ore. You can strip it from copper. And if you're unfortunate, you can also strip it of data. You know, oddly, we praise about how similar the Xbox is getting to be a PC. And we know that we link our credit card to it, and we have to have a Gmail account or something similar. We have a username, we have a history, and yet we happily send it off to Nigeria where identity theft is a thing that gets bought with the product itself. I'm travelling in the next couple of months to China, and it will be interesting to experience firsthand just the environmental damage it's caused by, I guess, the consumerism we have. And China really cops it both ways, Richard. They do the manufacture of the goods. You and I took great pride as Hungarians that the original Xbox sold in Australia was made in Hungary. And Mexico, yes. And Mexico as well for the American consumers, but not anymore. They're made in China. So not only do they manufacture and cop the environmental damage there, but also for the recycling. And some 60 to 70% of all e-waste in the world eventually makes its way to China. A lot of that is actually through the back door, through Southeast Asia, and also through Hong Kong. The Economist has just written this year an article why China is sick of foreign garbage and talks about 24 classes of waste which will no longer be accepted as external imports to China. China still has a large consumer market and produces a lot of e-waste for themselves. But what we're really meaning then is the next highest bidder of the waste, and that would be Malaysia, Vietnam and Indonesia, would be competing to buy in this, finger quotes here, resource. So it's a very complex problem. It's always a case of NIMBY, what we say in Australia, not in my backyard. But anyone can accredit themselves and have a partner who then passes it on third hand and fourth hand. The waste becomes untraceable, and yet we hold our heads high.
All right. So
so for that, like, you know, it's interesting, and for people, I don't know if anybody watches like Vice and things like that. Some of the waste and stuff that's sent to these countries, you see kids like crawling through it and picking at it to grab like the expensive stuff at it and things like that. But you know, the costs, when you think of cost of purchasing an Xbox, you know, an Xbox One X, and say you send one back, or what happens when you throw that away and do this and that, it just, you know, there's more than just the $4.99 or $3.99 that you pay. There's the cost to other countries and the environment, things like that. I'm not a massive environmentalist type person, but I do recycle, as I'm pretty sure most people try to do the best they can. But big fan of EV cars. Like I want a Tesla really bad and things like that. But I do appreciate that email. I like the thought on it. So.
All right. So let's wrap this up. Again, you can send us a voicemail going to thisxboxlife.com and clicking on send voicemail on the right-hand side. You can also email us, contact@thisxboxlife.com. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Both of them are thisxboxlife.com/Twitter//Facebook. Pick which one. Let's see. So, Rob, time to go into the retail releases. What's coming out, man?
Okay, for the week of January 29th through February 4th, we have on January 30th, Railway Empire Assemblance on the Railway Empire and Assemblance, two separate games. Then on the 31st, we have Wolverblade. Yeah, I think I said that right. Wolverblade.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
And then on February 2nd, Nightmares from the Deep 3, Davy Jones, and EA Sports UFC 3. And of those, it looks like Railway Empire and EA Sports UFC 3 are Xbox One enhanced titles.
Cool.
All right. Games with Gold is doing the old switcheroo. What was it, on Tuesday, I think, right? No.
Wednesday.
Wednesday's Thursday's the first.
It's the first, yes, on Thursday. So we have for a couple more days The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3. We're continuing Zombie through February 15th, and new to the scene this week is Shadow Warrior for Xbox 360 and Xbox One backwards compatibility. We have Army of Two going through mid-February, and the new guy on the block is Split Second, starting on the 1st. So lastly, as usual, if you're an iTunes user, find us on the iTunes store. Give us a 5-star rating and review if you would. That's an easy way to support the show. It helps us out a lot. Gets us boosted in the rankings over there so more and more folks can find out about the show, and we would really appreciate it if you could do that. And if you have family members that have accounts, do it on theirs too.
Yeah.
The more the better. Also, if you are a shopper of Amazon, use our affiliate link each and every time you make your purchases on Amazon. That's also another way you can easily support the show. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but make sure to use that affiliate link. You can find it on our website. Just go to thisxboxlife.com, click on the Amazon logo, or go to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon, and then there choose either US or UK store from that landing page there. And again, use that each and every time you make your purchase on there. That's another easy way to support the show. Also, Mark's been streaming on Mixer. So if